Yan and Tong Liya, a pairing that has long captured the public's imagination. Whether it's through their past work together, their rare but memorable appearances, or the quiet whispers of possible off-screen closeness, these two have a way of sparking curiosity without even trying. But now, the whispers have grown louder and the speculation stronger after a surprising set of photos emerged, allegedly capturing them in the middle of a private meeting in Beijing. It wasn't at a high-profile event, nor on a crowded film set. No, this meeting took place far from the glitz of the red carpet, in a cozy cafe tucked away from the main streets, the kind of place you wouldn't notice unless you knew exactly where to look. The pictures, blurry, taken from across the room, show Jerry and Tong Liya sitting at a small table in the corner. Both casually dressed, with no flashy accessories, no heavy makeup, no entourage. Just two people, leaning in, heads close together, their expressions a mix of concentration and familiarity. And perhaps that's what makes this scene so intriguing. They weren't trying to hide. No oversized sunglasses. No face masks. No attempt to sit apart or create distance. If anything, their body language suggested ease, the kind that comes from knowing someone well. The online reaction was immediate and intense. Some fans immediately jumped to the conclusion that this was a date. Just look at them, one social media user wrote. They're way too comfortable with each other for this to be just business. Another added, Yan has been so low-key lately. If he's coming out like this with Tong Liya, it must mean something. Others were more skeptical, pointing out that both Jerry and Tong Liya are seasoned professionals who often meet co-stars, directors, and producers outside of official settings. Not everything is romance, a fan countered. Maybe they're just discussing a new drama. Interestingly, the timing of this meeting has raised even more eyebrows. Just last week, industry insiders began buzzing about a potential new big-budget romantic drama being pitched to major networks. Rumor has it that the lead roles were being offered to two established actors with a history of undeniable on-screen chemistry. The description fits Jerry and Tong Liya perfectly. Could this meeting have been about finalizing that deal? Or was it something far more personal? An anonymous source close to the cafe staff reportedly told entertainment blogs that Jerry had arrived first, quietly ordering coffee and sitting by the window. About 15 minutes later, Tong Liya walked in, smiling as she spotted him, before taking the seat right across from him. From there, the two spent nearly an hour in conversation. They weren't laughing boisterously, but they weren't tense either. At one point, Jerry leaned forward, speaking softly, while Tong Liya nodded, her eyes locked on his. Later, she reached for her phone and showed him something on the screen, prompting a small smile from him. And then, just as quietly as they had arrived, they left, Jerry stepping out first, Tong Liya following a few moments later. That brief separation while leaving could have been to avoid attracting attention, but as history has shown, small details like that only fuel more gossip. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Fans who have followed their careers know that Yan is famously private. He's not the type to casually meet up with colleagues in public spaces, especially if there's a risk of being spotted. For him to be seen like this suggests either a comfort with public speculation or a belief that this particular meeting was worth the potential headlines. Tong Liya, on the other hand, has recently been making more public appearances, stepping back into the limelight after a period of personal reflection and career recalibration. Could Jerry be a part of that comeback journey? It's also worth remembering that their working relationship goes back years. Though they've never been frequent collaborators, the few times they've shared the screen have left a lasting impact. Fans still talk about their effortless rapport, the kind that seems to flow naturally without forcing the scene. And maybe that's what we saw in that cafe, not just two people catching up, but two artists reconnecting over something that matters to them. Still, for those who want to believe in a deeper connection, there's another layer. Tong Liya has spoken in past interviews about valuing sincerity and trust in relationships, whether romantic or platonic. She's hinted that in her industry, finding someone who truly understands you beyond the cameras is rare. And Yan, with his reserved but quietly attentive nature, fits that description all too well. On the flip side, Jerry has admitted in the past that he tends to keep his circle small, but when he trusts someone, he remains loyal for years. That loyalty often shows in subtle ways: a phone call during a difficult time, a quiet visit when someone is unwell, or perhaps, in this case, an unannounced meeting that neither of them seemed eager to hide. So, what does all this mean? Could it be love? Could it be business? Or maybe, just maybe, it's something in between, a connection that blends personal and professional trust in a way that outsiders can only speculate about. What's certain is that Yan and Tong Liya have once again captured public attention, sparking discussions not just in China but across Asia. The beauty of this story is that it leaves space for imagination, for fans to wonder, to hope, and to create their own interpretations. As for Jerry and Tong Liya, they remain silent, letting the photos and their quiet body language speak for themselves. And in the world of celebrity news, sometimes silence says more than any official statement ever could. In the days that followed, the internet became a battleground of theories. Some entertainment bloggers wasted no time in linking this cafe sighting to the mysterious social media posts both Jerry and Tong Liya had shared in recent weeks. Just 2 days before their meeting, Jerry uploaded a simple photo on his account, a shot of a sunset over a quiet street, with the caption, "Sometimes the best conversations are the quiet ones." Fans now believe this wasn't just a poetic musing, but a carefully placed clue. Tong Liya, on the other hand, had shared a black and white image of her holding a script, no title visible, alongside the words, "Every story begins somewhere." Put together, these posts now seem almost too coincidental. Were they hinting at a shared project? Or, as some believe, a new chapter in their personal story? The media, of course, jumped on the opportunity. Entertainment headlines across Weibo and other platforms blared. Yan and Tong Liya, secret project or secret romance. From screen chemistry to real connection. Cafe meeting sparks speculation. Industry insiders say Yan could be making a big return, with Tong Liya by his side. Interestingly, when reporters reached out to both of their representatives for comment, the responses were vague. Jerry's camp replied, "We do not comment on our artist's private schedule." Tong Liya's team said, "We appreciate your interest, but there is nothing to announce at this time." Nothing to announce. That's the kind of carefully worded response that leaves the door wide open for interpretation. Meanwhile, a second eyewitness has come forward. A young woman, who claimed she was at the cafe the same afternoon, posted on a fan forum. They looked like they were talking about something important. Tong Liya smiled a few times, but mostly they were very focused. At one point, Jerry put his hand on the table like he was reassuring her about something. It didn't feel like a business meeting where you're negotiating contracts. It felt more personal. Of course, skeptics are quick to remind everyone that impressions can be misleading. But for devoted fans, every small gesture, every fleeting glance, is another piece of the puzzle. Then came the twist no one saw coming. A leaked image began circulating online, showing what appeared to be the cover page of a drama script. The title was blurred, but the lead cast section listed 2 names, Yan and Tong Liya. The authenticity of this leak has yet to be confirmed, but it only fueled the fire. If this script is real, it would mark their first major drama together in years, a project that could reignite the kind of on-screen magic they're known for. But if it's fake, then the only remaining explanation for their cafe meeting would lean even more toward the personal. Behind all the speculation lies the truth that only Jerry and Tong Liya know. And their history makes this moment even more captivating. Years ago, when they first crossed paths at an awards event, they were spotted chatting backstage long after the cameras stopped rolling. At the time, it was brushed off as 2 stars exchanging polite conversation. But fans who have kept track of their careers believe that moment was the spark of a quiet, enduring friendship, one that never needed constant public appearances to remain intact. Fast forward to now, and perhaps what we're seeing is the continuation of a connection that never truly went away. Still, there's an undeniable risk in being seen together like this. Jerry's name has been linked to very few people over the years, and Tong Liya, after navigating personal challenges in the public eye, has been fiercely protective of her private life. For them to meet in a place where they could be spotted, either by chance or design, suggests that they were willing to accept, or even embrace, the possibility of public attention. Some analysts in the entertainment industry believe this could be a carefully planned soft reveal. Not an outright announcement, but a quiet, organic moment that lets the public slowly get used to the idea of them being seen together more often. If that's the case, we could be witnessing the start of a slow burn narrative, one where each appearance builds curiosity until, eventually, they either confirm a collaboration or, perhaps, something more. For now, all we can do is watch, wait, and interpret the pieces as they appear. Whether it's love, business, or that elusive middle ground, Yan and Tong Liya have managed to do what few stars can: captivate the public with nothing more than a simple meeting and the mystery that surrounds it. And if history is anything to go by, this won't be the last time their names make headlines together. The real question is, next time we see them, will they still be keeping us guessing, or will we finally get the answer?